just to start this interview off nice and easy and to help everyone with this interview, I'd like you to tell me about what you do and mainly about what you dislike, or if any, what you like about your job mainly.
I kind of bring the concept of business down to three very simple sort of principles, and for me it's all about ideas, people and capital.
Okay.
And so the ideas are really about meeting client solutions, about creating solutions and product solutions out there that can meet our clients' needs. I have a few private capital interests, but my main business interest is a facilities management, facility services group which operates throughout Africa, throughout the UK, and increasingly throughout other parts of the world. So it's a case for me of creating solutions with my team, my colleagues, combining people, the right sort of people mix to make this all happen. And of course capital, which in any business is a vital source of vital ingredient in terms of making it all come together. If you get those three things right, then generally you have success. So that's what I do. That's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy synchronizing those elements, getting them to work in tandem as far as possible, recalibrating it all the time to make sure that you've got the right mix of each of those in our journey as we continue to grow this business and this group called Servest, by the way. As we grow it into a continuing growing organisation meeting our clients' needs. I enjoy a lot of the bigger picture, more strategic aspects of it, but some of the more operational aspects, which I've spent many years, my early formative years doing, best left to my colleagues to handle.
Okay. And where do your clients generally come from? Where is there a particular type of client you look for, or does it come from all over, do you think?
Well, that's a good question. We try and be strategic about our choice of client. Not every client is necessarily the right sort of client. There may be different aspects or issues involved in why clients would be best suited to our organisation or not. So we tend to, particularly on a strategic basis, we'll look for clients sometimes even years in advance and nurture and grow those relationships until eventually we can conduct some business together with them.
Okay. And do you face the client yourself? Do you talk to the client yourself?
Occasionally I'll get in front of clients, but we have a vast team of people that are specialists in certain areas. And wherever I have an opportunity, I'll certainly get in front of clients. One of the negative things about growing a big group is that sometimes your colleagues are quite protective of relationships and so on, and they kind of get on with things. But occasionally I'll certainly sit with clients, with my colleagues.
Okay. And do you find that you really have to trust your colleagues as well with all your client facing instead of doing it yourself?
Well, the one thing about growing a business is that you need to understand that actually it's a realization that if you are combining yourself with the right colleagues, that actually they can do stuff better than you can do. To a great extent. Then you know you've made the right choice.
Okay.
So I've never had any issues with the way that's dealt. There's certain things that I do in my group which I think I do the best, but of course one would always think that about certain things you do. But certain things that I know that I don't do best, and I think that's an important characteristic to have, knowing where your strengths and where your weaknesses are, backing your people, backing your colleagues, working in a collaborative, very strong fashion, because the end result then is going to be greater as the sum of the parts.
Okay. And with your colleagues, are you very friendly with them? And if so, does that sort of hamper your business relationships with them?
No, not at all. I think friendships and relationships are very important, and it's important to keep them in the context of it's a business relationship, and in most cases you'd be friendly with people you perhaps ordinarily wouldn't even know them had they not been colleagues of yours. So I think the way you conduct yourself with your colleagues is very important. Doesn't mean you have to be overly friendly, doesn't mean that you have to be overly formal. I think both of those are probably not really the way to go. So I tend to have quite a warm relationship, I think, with as many of my colleagues as I possibly can.
Okay. And with this large clientele and this large business you've built with Servest, what do you believe is your key to success?
My personal success, taking a long-term view. I wouldn't say patient, because I'm not necessarily a very patient guy. I'm quite demanding and sort of task goal orientated, etc. But taking a long-term view, doing the right things, no shortcuts. Don't ever take shortcuts in business, because it might lead to short-term gains, but it's never ever going to help you in the very long term. And I've seen very real examples of that over many years, where we've taken a view on things that might cost us something, cost us money, and so on, but the incremental rewards down the track are significant. So long-term view, focus, big one, and back yourself.
Okay. And what characteristics do you think a business leader needs? You've talked about patience generally and drive. So what do you think are the main characteristics that either you have or you need to be a good leader of a business?
Well, you need to display the normal leadership qualities. So you need to be the right sort of individual who people can look up to, respect, be happy to collaborate and work with, and be happy to spend their time in their lives and in their careers and their business lives, aligning themselves with that vision. And you need to do the right thing. You need to make the right calls. Sometimes the calls are hard calls to make, but if you have a lack of performance and there's shortfalls in your business, you need to be tough about that, so that your other colleagues know that certain areas that perhaps aren't in their control, that at least the leader is managing those aspects, because the buck has to stop somewhere, and it's important to ultimately display those characteristics as a leader, which sometimes can be quite a lonely place to be, because you don't necessarily have people that you can necessarily share or talk to. You've got to make these calls sometimes.